In a quiet village, nestled between rolling hills and winding rivers, there lived a woman named Lon. Her days were filled with the gentle rhythm of rural life, rising before dawn to prepare breakfast, tending to the small garden behind her modest home, and caring for her husband, Tuan. To outsiders, theirs seemed an ordinary life marked by simplicity and routine. Yet beneath the surface, Lon's heart carried a weight that few could see. Lon had married Tuan when she was just 20 years old, her cheeks still rosy with the blush of youth, her dreams as bright as the morning sun. Tuan, a handsome young man with ambitions of his own, promised her a life of happiness and companionship. In those early days, laughter echoed through their home, and the future seemed limitless. But as the years slipped by, hardships crept in, as they so often do. Tuan struggled to find steady work, his aspirations thwarted by misfortune and circumstance. Each failed venture left him more embittered, and the gentle warmth in his eyes slowly faded. He grew distant, spending his days wandering the fields or lingering in the village tea-house, seeking solace in idle conversation and cups of strong tea. Lon, meanwhile, bore the burdens of their household alone. She tilled the soil, mended their clothes, and stretched every coin to feed them both. Despite her efforts, Lon never complained. She greeted each new day with quiet determination, her hands roughened by labor but her spirit unbroken. When Tuan returned home late at night, his steps unsteady and his words sharp, Lon met him at the door with patience. She listened to his grievances, comforted him in his disappointments, and forgave his careless words. Her love for him was steadfast, even as her own needs were overlooked. The villagers often whispered about Lon's devotion. Some pitied her, others admired her strength. "She deserves better," they would say, shaking their heads as they watched her carry water from the well or gather wood for the fire. But Lon paid no heed to their gossip. She believed in the vows she had made, and in the quiet hope that one day things might change. One winter, when the winds howled through the village and frost painted the windows, Tuan fell ill. His body, weakened by years of worry and neglect, could not fight the fever that gripped him. Lon nursed him day and night, cooling his brow with damp cloths and coaxing him to eat when he had no appetite. She whispered words of comfort, her voice gentle as the falling snow, and prayed for his recovery. As the days dragged on and Tuan's condition worsened, Lon's own health began to falter. She ignored the ache in her bones and the weariness in her limbs, pouring all her strength into caring for her husband. Neighbors offered their help, bringing hot soup and warm blankets, but Lon insisted on tending to Tuan herself. Her love, she believed, was the strongest medicine she could give. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the world was bathed in golden light, Tuan opened his eyes and looked at Lon with a clarity she had not seen in years. He reached for her hand, his grip weak but sincere. "Lan," he whispered, his voice trembling, "I'm sorry. For all the years I have made you suffer, for all the burdens you have carried alone. I see now how much you have given, how much you have endured. You are the heart of this home, the light in my life. I wish I had shown you more kindness, more gratitude." Tears welled in Lon's eyes, but she smiled through them. "We have shared both joy and sorrow," she replied softly. "That is what it means to be husband and wife. I have never regretted loving you." Tuan squeezed her hand, and in that moment, something shifted between them. The bitterness that had clouded their marriage began to lift, replaced by a newfound tenderness. Tuan's recovery was slow, but as his strength returned, so too did his appreciation for Lon. He began to help with the chores, to listen with greater patience, and to cherish the woman who had stood by him through every trial. The villagers noticed the change as well. Where once they saw a woman burdened by hardship, they now saw a couple walking side by side, their faces softened by forgiveness and understanding. Lon's quiet resilience had transformed not only her own life, but Tuan's as well. Yet, the scars of the past did not simply vanish. There were still moments of struggle, days when old habits threatened to return. But Lon and Tuan faced them together, drawing strength from the hardships they had overcome. Their love, tested by adversity, had grown deeper and more enduring. As the seasons changed and the village blossomed with new life, Lon found herself surrounded by the warmth of community and the comfort of knowing she was no longer alone in her burdens. She had been the pillar of her family, the silent force that held everything together. Her story became a quiet testament to the power of patience, compassion, and unwavering love. In the years that followed, Lon's kindness continued to ripple through the village. She offered help to those in need, shared her wisdom with younger women, and became a source of comfort to all who knew her. Her suffering had not been in vain. It had shaped her into a beacon of hope and strength. And so, the story of Lon, the devoted wife who endured hardship with grace, lived on in the hearts of those who heard it. Her life was a reminder that even in the face of sorrow, love can endure, heal, and transform. It is not always the grand gestures that define us, but the quiet sacrifices made each day, the gentle words spoken in the darkness, and the steadfast belief that better days will come.